Hi, welcome to the Upside. I'm your host, Paul Santinello, and before you adjust your TV sets, I was informed that this show is going to be our first show in HD, so this is what we really look like, and so don't worry too much. This is the real show. So I want to introduce, today on the Upside, we're going to talk with Jack Griffin, and Jack is running for Hampden County Sheriff. This year, we know that next year in 2016, there's going to be a race for sheriff. Sheriff Ash is retiring. And Jack, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it, Paulie. Really, I do.
So we're going to just talk today about your background, why you're running for office, and I've known. Gosh, I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
I've known you for probably 35
Yeah,
years, at least, right?
At least.
When we were young knuckleheads and now just old knuckleheads. So, and unfortunately, in the first show of HD TV, they get us to our two bugs on there,
right, exactly.
So, what made you? Because let me go backwards. The Hampden County Sheriff's Race. I think this is the first time in 38 years. Okay, that this seat is coming up with the incumbent not running. So it's not something that pops up every 4 years. It's not something that's really had competitive races in it either. Right. What made you get into the race knowing that there's some political,
process to it?
Yeah,
I get it. I'm not a politician, Paulie.
Yep.
That's for sure. You know me. But I've been in the field for over 2 decades down in Connecticut, and I worked in various prisons down there. And I got bit by the bug, so to speak, and once you get into this business of corrections, it gets in your blood. And I've had some success along those lines. I specialize in drug and alcohol abuse, but I've had a multitude of different jobs inside the prison itself. And when I thought about it, and some people came to me and said, "Hey, Griff, what do you think?" I said, "Well, geez, I'm not a politician." They said, "But you know it better than anybody else." I said, "Well, yeah, let me see what happens." And the little train of saints and sinners has started to roll. And that's one of the reasons why I'm involved in it, and one of the reasons why I think I can do a good job with it.
And what, in terms of how long you were a corrections officer in?
Well, I started off in Connecticut over, like I said, almost 25 years ago, and I came into corrections as a correctional substance abuse trainee. Okay. And like I said, I'm not a choir boy, as you well know, and you weren't in the choir with me either.
No.
So we
missed those practices.
Yeah, we did. But through my own life experiences, I ended up in the prison system as a trainee, and I found a life's passion and a life's commitment, and subsequently went from that and progressed as a correctional substance abuse counselor, as a classification counselor, as a unit manager. I had the whole gambit. A beautiful experience in Connecticut. The Connecticut prison system is, in my estimation, one of the greatest in the world. Some of the people that I work for down there, the Ray Mikowitzes, the Dave Marcials, the Esther Torreses. I mean, these people were second to none as far as understanding the process, and I learned from it, and I want to transfer that stuff back into my hometown, Springfield, Western Mass, all the towns in Western Mass that need me right now. Okay. I really do. I believe it with all my heart, Sant.
So what do you think is what's the most concerning thing for you because obviously, someone says, "Hey, Griff, you should run for an office." Right. Depending on the time of the day and the night, it might seem like a good idea, a bad idea, right? But when you put your head into it and said, "Okay, yeah, you think you could do the job," but what's the spur to say that? What's the need that you think that you need to address if you were elected sheriff?
One of the things that I believe the sheriff's job does is it gives you the opportunity to have almost a bully pulpit to the communities that are around here. If you control the inside, you'll affect the outside. Okay. I know the inside pretty well. I know I could do the job on the inside, administering what needs to be done through the laws and such on. But some of these kids that are going in there, they're a direct result of bad choices, decisions, and behaviors, and also an epidemic that's going on. And we know about this epidemic. It's opiate abuse, and it's drug abuse. I've been on the front lines for that for a long time. And when I got approached for this position, I thought about it. I did my own soul searching about it because I am not a politician. But I still have the passion to do what I need to do in life. I'm still young, I'm 56, and I got 2 kids. I'm a single dad. Yeah. And I believe that this position will give me the opportunity to do something and be a part of the solution, not the problems that are going on. because there's some serious problems going on out there.
Yeah, and I know we've addressed at various times. It's been, I know there was some programs here at Long Meadow High School where they brought in Chris Heron from the Boston Celtics and talking about the opiate addictions or addiction in general. But and I know the opiate addiction. Governor Baker just signed
he did.
some legislation to I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars. Or
it's needed too. I'm glad he did that.
And so it's more than it's not a Republican Democrat issue. It's not a conservative liberal.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
an issue,
bipartisan. I mean, they're hitting it.
Yeah, and it's affecting. It doesn't matter what your background is.
Correct.
It's affecting everybody.
Everybody has gotten a taste of this in their own families or somebody close to them. It's an epidemic right now. It really is. And like I said, I want to be part of the solution, not the problem.
So how does the sheriff's position allow you to affect the outside?
Well, if you control the inside, you will affect the outside.
And what do you mean by control the inside?
Well, the inside itself is, it's a local jail. I mean, some of these kids...
Excuse me.
That's all right. Some of these kids, like I said, I was on Bags and O'Brien the other day, and one of the things Bags said, he said, Griff, what are you going to do? And I said, some of these kids are just kids that made bad choices, but if you segue them into making them accountable for their behaviors, and a lot of that has to do with drug abuse, they're not bad kids. They're not bad kids. They're sick kids. So it's not a thing where you want to just lock them up and throw them away. It's not cost effective for the taxpayer for sure. It's easier to treat them, and I'm a big believer in treatment. I've seen it work in a lot of areas in people's lives, in my own, and I strongly believe that if I am the sheriff of Hampden County, I'll have the ability to look at that for what it is and make some real good choices that are going to be at my disposal. This drug court that's coming out, I really, really am impressed with so far this young district attorney, Anthony Gallooni, he seems very progressive. I don't know the man that well, but he seems very progressive, and he seems like he's a go-getter, and he seems like he's vested in this community. And there's others around that I've talked to that are very, very insightful about what we need to do. I just want to be a part of this process. I want to be a part of the solution, and I have some ideas that I think are going to benefit the community at large, and I'm sure that the Ludlow Correctional Institution will benefit with me walking the blocks.
Okay. I like that. Well, you mean being out on the streets?
Right.
Okay. I like that. I think that's probably some of the things. I think most of the higher ups. I think the mayor should be out on the streets more. I think the police chief should be on the chair or whatever.
Well, CP3 program is coming out. I mean, they're trying to do a hell of a job. I mean, but as Springfield goes, as you know, the other communities go.
Oh, everything that I've said that for years.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've heard you.
You know, the only difference between Long Meadow and Springfield is Forest Park.
Right.
And if Forest Park wasn't there, you'd probably have more crime coming across the borders or more issues coming across the borders a little bit more easily. But and we know, whether it's economically, if Springfield's doing well economically, Long Meadow, East Long Meadow, all these other communities do well.
Yeah.
If they're doing well socially, then the other communities are doing well. In having both grown up there. We know what it used to be.
Yeah, as opposed to what it is today.
What it is today, right.
But some of the things that are going on socially in Springfield, the racial diversity of what's going on, it's starting to meld. It really is. It's starting to meld. I mean, we're Long Meadow and the surrounding towns could be more invested in what's going on here because of the hub is Springfield. They're going to benefit. Everybody benefits from where Springfield goes. We've got some good stuff coming in with this casino if it comes. And we're on a progressive way, I believe. And like I said, my little piece in this is to hopefully make a difference as the next sheriff in what's going on inside the jail and helping these kids that are messed up on their way to being convicts. Their inmates treat them, get that continuity of care going on, and make sure that they hold them accountable.
One thing that I've heard over time is, when in terms of treating drug addiction, is there a high rate of recidivism, or is it there is?
Yeah.
Is it because we're not treating it the right way?
Well,
or is it just the nature of the beast?
It is, Sam. I mean, it's a threefold illness. It's physical, mental, and spiritual, and it affects your mind and it tears apart your soul. You drink and you use drugs because it feels good. That's the bottom line, It's the bottom line.
Yeah, but our age, we use them because we need to get up in the morning.
Socialize and interact. I couldn't talk to a girl if I didn't have a cocktail in it.
Yep.
the bottom line is it's moved into a different. These kids are shooting dope, you know, they're eating Oxycontins left and right, and those behaviors are causing criminality, and you know, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Somebody and some people, and I'm not saying I'm, you know, end all be all, but I want to be a part of that stopgap. I really do. And it starts when somebody's in trouble. I mean, on my end, I mean, hopefully they don't go that route, but once they get to me, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And I've had success and I've had luck addressing that recidivism and in my own way, bringing it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So let me just ask you to put on your politician hat now.
Oh, Christ. Oops.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, that's all right. It's on cable. I guess you can get away with some of that. But if you put on your politician hat, obviously, you know, there's one gentleman looming, Mike Albano.
Sure.
Okay, and I know Mike a little bit. And
Mikey's in.
He's a good guy, right? But so
Mike's a good guy.
I haven't heard anybody say he's not in. Let's put it that,
Right,
except
right.
for him. So we know most likely he's going to be in. Nick Coach, he's running.
Good kid.
Nick works up at the sheriff's department
Sure.
already. Seems to have the backing of the sheriff behind him.
He
right?
does.
Okay, so putting on your political hat. What do you see that you have to do day to day to get to that position? Because you got to, first of all, to get people to vote for you, you got to get them to like you.
Correct.
I think more people that talk to you, most people get to like you. So
Hopefully.
yeah. So hopefully, right? And you know, that's anything in politics. But how do you get from where you are today to November 2016 and become sheriff of Hampden
I'm
County?
going to be knocking on a lot of doors.
Yeah. Good boy.
I
You
caught
caught that
myself.
one. Yeah.
I'm going to be knocking on a lot of doors. I really am.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm passionate about this because I believe I can be of service.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting in this for ego or money. I'm okay the way I am. I'm in this because I really believe I can make a difference, more so than the candidates that have already expressed interest. I'm not part of the political machine. When you say put on your political hat,
We have to. That's
I
part of
have
it.
to.
Yeah, you
It's
have
part.
to,
Yeah, I really do. And I'm learning.
Yep.
I'm learning. I'm learning how to kiss babies and shake hands
Yep.
and, you know, things along those lines. My bread and butter is in the institution, and my experience in that is working with good people, and the people that are up there, like I said, I've talked to, and they're good people. I'm like a good point guard when the sheriff's position is in play.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to be knocking on a lot of doors. I'm going to be having some meet and greets. Some people have reached out to various people. Johnny Buggs said something to me about doing something the other day in Long Meadow. But we're also just thinking about a kickoff at Holy Name Grammar School in the old gym where we used to play ball. I want to bring it back to my roots, and hopefully I can pack the thing.
Yep.
You know, and I don't have no money, Sant. You know, and people out here are hurting. Even people with money are hurting. You know, they don't want to give to a political. I don't know how these guys, you know, send out flyers, send me a, you know, a $50 donate. $50 is $50.
Yeah.
And they're getting it. So I'm going to have a little, possibly around St. Patty's Day just beforehand. I'm going to put pasta in there because it's cheap.
Keep the cost down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it'll be good. I got a couple people that know how to make it, and you know, we're going to have some speakers, and I'm going to announce formally, have a kickoff rally right in the old Holy Name gym.
Yeah.
Where we all played ball with the likes of Vinny D,
Yeah.
you know, and Patty and everybody. So I'm going to bring it back to my roots, and then I'm going to just knock on a lot of doors. I have some. Matter of fact, last night we had a little campaign get together. There was about 15 of us there, and you know, we kicked it around there talking about precinct captains and you know, all this stuff I knew nothing about, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
But they're all talking, and Mark Dorsey, who's a dear friend, but he's helping me greatly with my campaign. He ran a campaign for a woman out in Congresswoman. Actually, she's a senator out in Wisconsin, Amy Clementshire. Mark was heavily involved with her, so he knows the business and he knows what to do. And there's other friends involved.
Yep.
Yeah,
So they're just going to tell you what to do, and they're going to.
Well, they're suggesting. They ain't going to tell me what to do. They're suggesting something to do. I mean, I had wardens that said, "Oh, just do what you got to do, Griff." You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's pretty much it. I really am not a candidate for, like I said, anything other than I believe I can be of service.
Yep. And when you look at your I look at the background, and I'm going to go a different direction, is one of the issues that I see, and I'm not taking a shot at Sheriff Ash or anybody else like that, but sometimes when you get someone in the system, whether it's congressman, mayor, senator, whatever, is it hard to, and you've been part of the Connecticut correctional system as well, so is it hard to get things changed when someone's been in place at the top position for a long time? Or, in your experience as new people come in, do they bring new ideas, or is it good to have that continuity?
Well, the continuity is something that you've garnished over time. That's great, but a fresh set of eyes is what I'm going to bring.
Yeah.
I really want to bring a fresh set of eyes. It's the 21st century, Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, is corrections going in a way where it could continue to benefit? I believe so, but I also believe that this world is changing, man. And we need these fresh set of eyes and ideas, thinking outside the box, especially with the criminality that's going on through the abuse of various drugs. And, you can get into sentencing modifications. We can utilize other programs. The Delancey Street programs are great one, the Oxford Street. We can do all these things that he's doing now, but I want to enhance them. I have some ideas about sentence modification programs, making these kids accountable for their behaviors and holding them to task, giving them a shot. Everybody deserves a shot, Paulie, everybody does. But mess up with that shot, and then you're going back. One thing James Gill said that made real perfect sense, and I really liked it. He said, I want to put corrections back in corrections. Something, I agree with that. This hug a con sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Hold them accountable. For the addict, the alcoholic, one of the most seriously important issues in somebody like that's life is pain. Pain helps the addict, the alcoholic. Because you get enough pain, you're going to reach a bottom. I've seen people go right through their bottoms. I really have. And it's unfortunate because of the illness, but I've seen people hit their bottoms and take their life in a totally different direction when recovery starts to happen. Yeah. So I mean, that's basically what I'm about and why I'm doing it. But it's an uphill battle. I get that. I know I'm the underdog.
Yeah.
Paulie, come on. But I'm doing it for reasons that, hey, Scott Brown went around in a little truck. You know what I mean? I got a 1999 Toyota, bro.
There you go.
You know what I mean? It's got 100. It's an old car. I got 190 on it, but it goes like good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be knocking on a lot of doors in all these counties.
That's good.
Especially Springfield.
Yeah, you got to get your story out somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
And if you don't have the money, it's going to take people power.
When you introduced me to my idol 25 years ago, Muhammad Ali, that was one of the best things I remember saying. How you doing, Muhammad? That was unbelievable. I still think about it. When I think of him, I think of you. You're in good company.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
right.
need that.
I hear you.
I need that every once in a while. The company I'm in. Some of the best times. Anything else you want to add before we go about what you want to do and how you want? Or what you want to talk to people and go door to door. This is a great way to get door to door. You're getting into their
we got it is. Yeah. We got a grassroots thing growing.
Yep.
I got a bunch of little cards with me and my dog on it, and I'm passing them around, and other people are too. But as you see, my candidacy for the next year, it's a year away. All I ask you is to keep an open mind. That's what I ask you. I ask you for your vote. I ask you for your commitment. And I ask you to basically look at the candidates and choose the one that you believe might make a difference to what's going on out there. So, my name's Jack Griffin. I'm running for Hampden County Sheriff. It's in the September of 2016, so it's a year away. But when you see me out there, please approach. I will approach you, and I'll be asking for your support and your vote.
Okay. Griff, thanks very much. Folks, thank you for watching on this episode of The Upside. And in between now and September, we'll have you come back in too and give us some updates and stuff. Sure. And like I said, I've known Jack for a long time, and a lot of stuff we can't put on TV, so that's okay. I always say one of the great denominators is sports, right? When you talk about kids and sports.
True indeed.
And one of the times I saw you was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. My son's in college now, but we had scrimmages up at Kylie Junior High or whatever it's called now, Kylie Middle School. Up on the fields there, and
I had the do-rag on.
Yeah, between the Long Meadow teams and the Springfield North or South, whatever.
Yeah, I was a coach. Help coaches.
Right, and that's
5A football. Yeah.
When you look into like I said, sports are a very good common denominator, bringing people together and stuff. Yeah. Griff, it was a pleasure. Right, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Folks, you're going to have some choices, and again, we'll have Jack back on before the primary in September. And thanks for watching The Upside. And again, we apologize for the HD coverage of this thing. Have a great day. That was good.